violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Richard police are investigating a homicide that happened yesterday.
WKRG News 5's Tiffany Gray joins us now in the studio. And Tiffany, you spoke exclusively with Joe Johnson's family.
Damn, Tiffany, tough, boy. Sheesh.
Yes, Roseanne, such a tragic story, and the family say it's all still unbelievable.
It felt like I was dreaming. It still feels like a dream. It don't feel real.
Family of 24-year-old Joe Johnson reflects on when they heard the news.
So, you know, we got Joe Johnson, and he looks like a block star, you know what I mean? He looked like he was having it, doing his thing, you know, maybe busting down some packs, whatever.
That he was shot multiple times and killed this past Sunday.
He was a good person. He was a giver. He don't care who you is. He was gonna help you. He did for his kids. Like, he was an outstanding.
So we talk about, you know, the way we dressing, and I'm not mad at the collared shirt. It's pretty clean. It looks like it got a Burberry interior. So he got the Burberry fit on. You know, he got that watch that he loved. Whether it's real or fake, who knows? But he got the Burberry belt, but it's not buckled up. Guys, you know, and I'm not trying to clown him or anything, but he's got a belt on, but it's not buckled up. Why do you think that is? And as you guys can see, the money is falling all out his pockets. You know, I'm actually rocking with the fit. But the reason he got the belt unbuckled is so that he can bust slack. Okay? Which, it is what it is. But we got to, that's where it starts, man. It's the little things, bro. It's the little things, in my opinion. And obviously, we don't know what happened in this situation, but to me, it sounds like maybe these dudes tried to rob him. They was jealous of him or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's crazy out here.
And daddy.
He was a good boy. He was a good man. He was a good father, and he was a good son.
Shorty came on the news with the bonnet, man.
And brother and uncle.
According to Pritchard Police, there is very little information available. There are also no suspects.
Joe was there.
Damn. No information available. No suspects. They have no clue what happened. That's wild.
For a lot of y'all. Look out for your boy. If he was your boy when he was alive, let him be your boy now. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, y'all know LaJoy be doing everything in his power
To help.
In the meantime,
so y'all hear what they're saying. It sounds like they was kind of, you know, leaning toward telling his boys to go get retaliation. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep between the lines, but that's what it sounded like.
this broken family is just trying to pick up the pieces.
If y'all know anything pertaining to this situation.
This fit, I'm actually rocking with. I like the pockets. I like how the shorts come up over the kneecaps. You know, it's pretty hard. The white Air Forces. Hey, Buddy was really having it. He was swagging. I ain't gonna lie. But as you can see, his shirt is another black man shooting a gun. So, damn. I mean, it's just like, it's like you could tell that he was living that life. I'm not even trying to judge him because, you know, he was probably a hard dude. You could tell he was living that life, and unfortunately, it backfired.
Please reach out and let us know. Like, any small thing can help. Please. Anything can help. Any information can help.
Now, family and friends tell me they're planning a candlelight
Dang, I ain't gonna lie, man. She is so fine.
vigil for later this week, as well as Johnson's funeral. In the studio, Tiffany Gray, WKRG News 5.
At least 2 people are killed inside of a home in Wilmington. You can see police swarming the
So, guys, this is Wilmington, Delaware, just so you know.
area as family members broke down in tears. Let's bring in NBC 10's Miguel Martinez-Valle. He is live at the Wilmington Police Department. Miguel, what do you know about this? What are you learning this morning?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, police haven't told us how many people were inside that home overnight, but we do know that 2 people died in the shooting, and this was just one of several violent incidents in Wilmington that happened last night. So let's take a look at this video. This is from Skyforce 10 when they were above the home. Now you can see the latest shooting. It happened on the corner of 2nd Street and Van Buren Streets in Wilmington.
Man, you can tell that's a rough area. I mean, they got... It looks like they got a grill, a propane grill right outside of the crib in these little townhomes or whatever you call them. It's crazy.
SWAT was there, police, the fire department, and EMS. They surrounded the home. Police got that call before 10 a.m. and they initially responded to it as if it were an active shooter situation because they didn't know exactly what was happening inside. So once the officers were able to get in through the door, they found 2 people dead in the home at least. And this was just one of several shootings that happened overnight in Wilmington. We do know that 1 other person was killed, 2 others were injured in 2 separate shootings that happened last night. So it was a violent night in Wilmington. Of course, we're waiting on more information from...
Of course, he said of course.
Wilmington police about the shooting incidents, and we'll have any updates on NBC 10. I'll send it back to you guys. I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle, NBC 10 News.
So guys, this woman, Mackenzie Horn, this was one of the young ladies who was taken out in Delaware. I mean, it's on fire. Not just because she looks like Hispanic even. I don't even know. Racially ambiguous. But it's like people are getting taken out left and right. And it seems like our focus is not on improving this situation when it comes to the crime. We talk about reform, but who's really benefiting from the reform?
Continues tonight for whomever shot and killed a 7-year-old boy in North Mississippi. This happened yesterday in Clarksdale. The family has identified the boy as Cartavius Brown Jr. Fox 13's Tom Dees spoke to the police chief, who says that this little boy died after someone shot at the car that he was in.
So they sprayed the car up. This isn't a new phenomenon. Only this time it's a 7-year-old boy. You know, I've done stories on different casualties of this gun violence, or, you know, these brothers running down on folks, and it's wild. Okay, it's wild because it's continuous. It keeps on happening. It feels like the same scenario is happening in different parts of the country at different times with different victims. It's the same exact scenario.
According to the police chief, investigators believe that the car that Cartavius Brown Jr. was riding in was intentionally targeted.
Don't necessarily know whether the adult male was the target or just the vehicle was the target.
He sounded like he got shot before or something.
But both the child and the adult were in the vehicle that was shot.
According to Chief Robbie Lindley, the car was here at Crossroads Liquor and Laundry Center when someone shot at it.
When my officers arrived in the area, they did find evidence that she...
Hold on. Liquor and laundry? Liquor and laundry. Get some liquor while you wait for your laundry. It's not a bad business model.
According to Chief Robbie Lindley, the car was here at Crossroads Liquor and Laundry Center when someone shot at it.
When my officers arrived in the area, they did find evidence that the shooting had occurred, but they didn't locate any victims there at the scene. Shortly thereafter, we were notified by the hospital that there were 2 victims, gunshot victims at the hospital. Officers were actually already at the hospital from a prior shooting that we had had in town, and we learned that one of the victims was a 7-year-old child that was shot and killed, and there was another 28-year-old male victim that was shot but did not die from his injuries.
Dang, my guy sound like he done been through the trenches though, for real.
A family member shared this video of family gathered at the hospital after the shooting. Cartavius Brown Jr. went to Clarksdale Collegiate Charter School.
Damn. Dang, they took out Cartavius, bruh. I mean, how many of y'all got a family member who look just like Lil Cartavius? And apparently, it was targeted. His pops might have been in some stuff. He might have been involved in some things. I don't know. But these dudes don't care anymore. They're on demon time. They don't care if women, kids. They want everybody or anybody they can get.
The school's director didn't want to go on camera, but tells me they will have grief counselors here on multiple levels, including counselors and pastors from local churches. They also tell me they will have counselors in the 7-year-old's home room. Chief Lindley shared with me the gravity of losing a child.
I mean, now his classmates have to get counseling. This is how strong of an effect these shootings have. Now his classmates have to get counseling because they're going to be asking the teacher, where is Cartavius?
In such a way in the community.
Yeah, well, anytime we have any type of crime that occurs against a child, because a child is just an innocent person. They're just there to live life. And anytime anything happens to a child, it's definitely out of the ordinary.
In Clarksdale, Tom Dees, Fox 13 News.
So guys, we talk about solutions, and the sentencingproject.org just put out a publication. They call it The Color of Justice, Racial and Ethnic Disparity in State Prisons. And this is just kind of going on and on about how black and brown people are predominantly incarcerated in the states. Okay. So they honing on this point that nearly 5 times the rate or black and browns are incarcerated 5 times the rate of white, and Latinx people are 1.3 times as likely to be incarcerated than non-Latinx whites. Okay. So they're basically saying darker skinned people get more time. So we're not going to read the whole article for time purposes, but we are going to break down the key findings. Okay. Number 1, black Americans are incarcerated in state prisons at nearly 5 times the rate of white Americans. 2, nationally, 1 in 81 black adults per 100,000 in the U.S. is serving time in state prison. Wisconsin leads the nation in black imprisonment rates. 1 of every 36 black Wisconsinites is in prison. In 12 states, more than half the population is black. Alabama, Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Mississippi, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Okay. 7 states maintain a black/white disparity larger than 9-1. California, Connecticut, Iowa, Maine, Minnesota, New Jersey, and Wisconsin. Okay. So basically they're saying that there are 7 states where there's a 9-to-1 ratio of blacks than whites. Okay. Latinx individuals are incarcerated in state prisons at a rate that is 1.3 times the incarceration rate of whites. Ethnic disparities are highest, in Massachusetts, which reports an ethnic differential of 4:1 to 1. Yeah. Okay. So it's pretty. They're saying some pretty shocking things. Okay. And at first glance, you would be like, wow, there must be a problem with the system. Okay. And there might be. But when you look at these numbers deeper, the numbers start to tell a different story. Okay. So let's look at their recommendations before I pull up this chart. And we're gonna look at these numbers and break it down. So the recommendations to solve this disparity: eliminate mandatory sentences for all crimes. That almost sounds like defund the sentences. You know how they've been saying defund the police, defund sentencing. That's pretty wild right there. That's a bold statement. Eliminate mandatory sentences for all crimes. Mandatory minimum sentences, habitual offender laws, and mandatory transfer of juveniles to the adult criminal system give prosecutors too much authority while limiting the discretion of impartial judges. These policies contribute to a substantial increase in sentence length and time served in prison, disproportionately imposing unduly harsh sentences on Black and Latinx individuals. So they want to eliminate mandatory sentencing. That means that the sentencing is up to the discretion of the judges, because basically they're arguing that prosecutors oftentimes win certain cases because there's a mandatory minimum. There's a mandatory minimum. So with the mandatory minimum, it gives them something to shoot for. So when they're negotiating with the criminals or the accused, right, they can say, hey, you're looking at doing 7 mandatory. It's a mandatory minimum. Get them to plea out, or they take it to trial and, see what their fate is, okay? But my thing is, if you eliminate the mandatory minimums, then when people are arrested for these crimes, that basically says that they can fight for less time. I think some, especially the violent crimes, should definitely have mandatory minimums. I'm not, if it's a victimless crime is what they would say. Depends on, because I don't really think there is really a victimless crime. But there are some crimes or some laws that, I could do without, okay? So I'm not fully for, every law on the books is right, okay? That's not my state of mind. But when I look at this, eliminate mandatory sentences, this to me sounds like, minimizing the terms for people doing horrendous things like murder, shootings, aggravated assaults, and all other intrusive crimes. 2, require prospective and retroactive racial impact statements for all criminal statutes. All right. The Sentencing Project urges states to adopt forecasting estimates that will calculate the impact of proposed crime legislation on different populations in order to minimize or eliminate the racially disparate impacts of certain laws and policies. Several states have passed racial impact statement laws to undo the racial and ethnic disparity resulting from decades of tough on crime policies. However, states should also repeal existing racially biased laws and policies. The impact of racial impact laws will be modest at best if they remain only forward-looking. Okay, so that sounded like a whole bunch of nothing. I'm not gonna lie. Racial impact laws, like, how can you prove a mandatory sentence is racist? Okay. Decriminalize low-level drug offenses. Discontinue arrests and prosecutions for low-level drug offenses, which often lead to the accumulation of prior convictions, which accumulate disproportionately in communities of color. These convictions generally drive further and deeper involvement in the criminal legal system. I'm not mad at that, because I'm more of like the libertarian mindset. So I'm not mad at that. And I agree to a certain extent. There are dudes who are locked up who shouldn't be locked up for nonviolent offenses, right? But you know, you start going and tweaking with these laws. It's really experimental for a certain amount of time. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to pull up this chart, and I'm just going to bring this chart to the screen because this is in Excel. I made it nice and easy for you guys to read. And it is basically most crimes summed up on this chart. So we're going to go down and look at the percentages of the crimes and the disparity in the amount of, or the amount of disparity in the different races and how these crimes occur. Okay. So just keep in mind the percentages of the population. So let me just pull that up. All right, guys. So we're looking at it right here from the census. White people, 76%. African Americans, 13.4%. American Indian, 1.3%. Asian, 5.9%. Okay. And it doesn't look like they have Hispanics and Latinos in this chart, unfortunately. But we can work with this. But in the census, it says 18.5% Hispanic and Latino. Okay, so anyways, when you look at these crimes, murder and non-negligent manslaughter, African Americans are at 51%. Unfortunately, they don't have the sex crimes on here. Robbery, 53%. White people are winning in aggravated assaults. Okay. Burglary, they're winning as well. All right. I just want to show you this chart. We can reference this chart because I like to look at the numbers. Okay. Even though we do multiple different cases, the numbers are extremely important. Breaking it down. Obviously, white people are going to commit more crimes in all. As you can see, all offenses, they commit about 10,000 of, or my bad. Let's see, 10 million of the offenses. I'm sorry, that was the all races. They commit 7 million of the offenses. blacks, 2.6 million. Okay. So they're beating us in crime. But what I see, the trend is we're beating them in the violent crimes. It appears. Okay. We're beating them in the violent crimes. Okay. So you can always reference this chart. I might create a link to it. But, I mean, it's very interesting when you look at the numbers. Let's see. Drug abuse offenses. White people are also beating us. So, I don't know. We would have to look at these claims deeper that this organization, or Ashley Nellis, she's a PhD, put together. But, you know, I thought it was interesting, so I definitely wanted to check it out. And now, without further ado, let's get into the story you've all been waiting for.
Jon Gruden, one of the biggest names in the NFL, multiple years into a $100 million contract, one of the highest paid, and all of this is unearthed. As you mentioned, the New York Times and Wall Street Journal reviewed emails from Gruden that showed he used homophobic, misogynistic, racist language in referring to some of the biggest names, and some of the biggest names as part of the NFL.
All right, so anyways, Jon Gruden on fire for racist emails, racist, homophobic, whatever, misogynistic. Okay. I mean, if we're holding everybody accountable to their emails and private messages, I mean, obviously he shouldn't have been sending that over the airwaves, but it's getting different out here. Like, you better not be sending nothing that can get screenshotted.
Specifically, he released a statement as he resigned, saying in his departure, "I love the Raiders and don't want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, and staff and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone." But when you...
To me, it sounds like, seriously, from what I saw from the emails, he's a funny guy. He makes jokes. And then he throws a little bit of his opinion in there. Am I mad at him for saying the other guy, whatever, had Michelin tire lips? Not really. Okay? Not really. Am I mad at him for saying that he doesn't think women belong in football? You know, it's a different world now. They were going to infiltrate anyway. This is my 2 cents. When women are involved in football, they gonna get their cheeks clapped by the football players. That's all I gotta say about that. You know, it is what it is. Are there some women who know the game of football? Yeah, cool. Could they be really good female referees? Yeah. Is there gonna be a really good female head coach? I don't know. I don't know if she can do it to the effect of some of the greats that we've seen. But hey, should they have the opportunity to do it? Hell yeah, that's cool. But it's not like he has any power in saying, hey, you know, a woman shouldn't be a part of... I mean, he could not hire her, I guess, in the Raiders, but she'll get picked up by any other team. And that's my thing. It's just like, how much of these people are we going to police? Like, what? How far are we going to go? How deep into someone's emails, text messages, whatever?
You look at the emails the Times reviewed spanning from 2011 to 2018 when he was an ESPN analyst. He used racist language to describe NFL Players Association Executive Director DeMaurice Smith during a lockout over collective bargaining negotiations. He denounced women being employed as on-field officials, denounced tolerance.
So he denounced, they're using the word denounced. I need to see specific emails, what they're saying. You know, honestly, people making a huge deal about this. Look, I'm not even mad that he resigned. I'm not mad that people are putting pressure on him and the stuff like that. It is what it is. This is the times we living in. But am I mad that he has these opinions? Nah, bruh. I'm really not, because at the end of the day, look, like I said, if women are involved in football, they finna get their cheese claps by the football players. There's no way you're convincing me otherwise.
For players protesting during the national anthem. The Times reporting also shows Gruden criticized a team drafting an openly gay player in 2014. And
so they're talking about Michael Sams. I mean, look, bruh. This is... In real life, people speak candidly. Obviously, he shouldn't have been sending it through email that... I don't know how they got hacked. Maybe it was a company email, but... I mean, he's definitely under fire, but is this what the headline, the main focus, the main story should be? No. The main story should be highlighting guys like Cartavius, who was clapped up, shot up in their car, 7 years old. But this is what people want to hear. The racist is racist this, racist that. I mean, the NFL is damn near all black. Jon Gruden been coaching for God knows how long. Does he hate his players? I doubt it. I really do.
Michael Sam, he used homophobic language to describe NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, and a league source confirmed to CNN the accuracy of the Times reporting. We reached out to Gruden, the NFL, Raiders, and we haven't gotten a response just yet. But amid all of these homophobic comments coming to light, the ironic part of all of this is the first active NFL player to come out in history plays for the Raiders, Carl Nassib, and we haven't heard from him just yet on social media or otherwise.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.